Hello everyone, welcome to another track guide for the oNiD Simhound Rookie Amateur Series, and this week we are at Bathurst, or Mount Panorama, whichever you want to call it. This is a tricky track, I won't lie to you. Some of you will get frustrated, but once you learn the flow of it, it's one of the most fun tracks on the game because it's like a roller coaster coming down the mountain. So I'm here to try help you find that fun. We'll go through braking points, turning points, where you should be accelerating, and hopefully it will help you ready for the race next week. As usual, 68 litres of fuel, which I consider a race stint. Track conditions are ambient is mid-20s, track is late 20s, so it's decent enough. There was no bop on the server when I done this, so I'm not sure what the bop is for the Porsche round here, but it will be updated on the server soon, so you won't have to worry about it. So let's go on a lap. So as you go down the main straight, you want to keep to the right hand side, getting ready for the braking zone. Me personally, I brake quite early here because I feel it gives me a better line through the corner and a better exit, because this corner is all about the exit with the long straight afterwards. So as I go along around 75 metres, halfway between the 50 and the 100, you want to get on the brakes. And as the barrier on the left disappears is when you want to start turning in. You want to come slowly off the brakes, and just before you hit the apex, the curb, you want to get back on the power to give you the best exit you can out of this corner. Feather the throttle if you need to. You can use the exit curb. You're going to hit the grass before you invalidate, so you will know, but use as much exit curb as needed, and it gives you a good run out onto the long straight. So we will go back and watch that in full speed. So you want to brake around 75, get turned in as the barrier finishes on the power just before the apex, use the exit curb, and as we go down this straight, you want to be drifting to the left hand side and getting ready for the next braking zone. The braking zone for this corner is about halfway across this little exit road on the left here. So as we go, you will see me on the brakes now. You want to get down, down. As you pass that tree on the right, you want to turn in. Your aim is to get your right hand side tyres on the white line. Try not to clip the curb because it will unsettle the car. So the goal is to just before the curb is where you want to be. And as you come off the brakes, you want to get on the power as soon as you can. You can power right the way around this corner. With it being uphill, it's necessary because you will lose time otherwise. You can use this exit curb, as you can see all the rubber on it. You might not need to, because I don't think I touch it, but you can, it won't cost you any time. Again, on the power as early as possible is what's important here. Take it a few times, get your line right. But if you don't get on the power early enough, you will lose a lot of time. So we'll watch it in full speed. So you want to brake, turn in just at the last tree, power as fast as you can, ready for the next braking zone. This is a bit of a tricky section. A lot of yous will lose the back enders coming around here, so I'll show you the technique I use. So as you come along, as there's this gap in the barrier here, that is my point to turn in. And as the car approaches the left hand side barrier, as you will see, I start to lift, and then as soon as the car's in a straight line, I brake. Try as much as you can in a straight line, because the goal is to come out wide a little bit to open the corner up. So you want to be braking, get turned in. As soon as you start turning, you want to be on the power. Hug the left, don't hit the wall though. With this being uphill, getting on the power early is crucial, otherwise you will lose a lot of time. and then follow the road round. It's a tricky section, but with a bit of practice you'll get there. So we'll watch it in full speed. So turn in where the barrier breaks, lift, brake in a straight line, back on the power instantly, and up we go. This next right-hander here, it can be taken flat out in pretty much any car. It's just getting the line correct. So you want to keep as much to the left as you can. As you approach this tree on your left is when you want to start turning in, aiming to get your right hand side wheels just on the white line, just clipping the curb if necessary, and it will drag you around nicely. You can use a bit of the exit curb, just be careful you don't hit the wall. So we will watch it in full speed. So keep to the left. As you get to the tree, turn in, keep it pinned, and all is good. With this corner, this is the same. You can take it full speed, it's just dependent on your line. I actually clip the wall a bit here because I overdo it the slightest bit, but you can take it flat out. It's just getting your line right. So you want to be coming over to the right. Use as much space as you can. Don't hit the wall. Get your wheels off the track if need be. And just before this white line here is when you want to start turning in. So you turn in, aim to get your left hand wheels just clipping the curb. And don't do what I do and clip the wall. But you can take it flat out if you take that line. It's fine, I just really didn't turn enough, that's my bad. Which really took a tenth off me, but it is what it is. So we'll watch it in full speed. You'll get over to the right hand side as much as you can, just before the white line, turn in. Don't hit the wall like I did. And as you come over this crest, as the curb starts, you want to start turning left, give it a little half lift, and as you get halfway around, just before this curb starts, you want to get back on the power fully, and if you've got the line right, it will drag you around nicely. Use the exit curb if you need to, and you'll be good. We will watch it in full speed. So as you hit the crest, give it a little lift and turn in, full power when the curb starts, and now here comes the roller coaster part. On this specific lap, I brake a bit early here. I have no idea why. Ideally what you want to be doing is as you hit the very top here, just before you go under this news banner, is you want to hit the brake as hard as you can, very sharply, change down a gear, come off the brakes and roll down here, and as you approach the curb you want to be back on the brakes and turned in. You can take quite a lot of this curb, as you see me doing. As I roll over this curb, I'm again coasting. As I come off the curb, back on the brakes, get turned in. You want to be keeping as close to this barrier on the right as you can. Give it a little brake as you come to this section and get turned in. Again, keep as close to the wall as you can, and as you feel the car dip down, you want to get back on the accelerator. Use a little bit of curb there to drag you around and pin the throttle all the way down. So we will watch this full section again in full speed. So hit the brakes at the top, roll down, brake on the curb, brake again, back on the power. Ready for the next braking zone. This is full power all the way. As this bends to the right, I will start to lift slightly. And then get on the brakes. If I go back, there is a little braking marker here. It's hard to see, so I will tell you it. So as you will see this little drain cover on the right here, As you go past that is when you want to get on the brakes. Brake in a straight line as much as you can down to first gear, and the goal is to hug this wall on the left as much as you can. Come off the brake very slowly, and as you get, the best way to describe it was as the 100 extraordinary years barrier is right in front of you there, where that barrier ends, is to get on the power now. Give yourself a good exit, because again, a good exit is great over here. Again, I clipped the wall slightly, overdoing it. Don't do that. It won't help you. That will have cost me another tenth. So we will watch this in full speed. So as you see the little drain on the right, get on the brakes, hug the wall at the left, and get on the power as that fest barrier ends. And this will take you down the straight. Keep to the left, all the way down, full speed. Use this little runoff area on the left to get a better angle through the right-hander. Ready for the braking zone. Your braking zone is roughly halfway between the 100 and the 150, so let's say about 125, 130 metres. As you will see, I'll get on the brakes. Other track guides will tell you here to clip this inside curb. I would avoid it because it can unsettle the car quite bad, and it could muck your whole lap up after you've put all the hard weight in through the mountain. So on the brakes, as you pass the marshal hook, you want to get turned in just before. I do give the curb a little clip, and as you can see about it unsettling the car, it's not nice. So we will go back, because as you start turning in, just before you get to that apex is when you want to be back on the power. And once you're on the power, don't lift. This is flat out. You can use this bit of exit curb where the rubber is, should you need to. Try not to touch the grass. And you're way up to the last corner. So we will watch this in full speed. So use the road on the left to get a better angle. Brake at around 130 metres. Power when you hit the apex. Pin it all the way around. Ready for the final corner. Again, like the first corner, I brake quite early here because I feel it helps with the exit. So again, just after the 100, maybe around 80, 75 metres if you want to push it, but I usually brake about 80. As you pass 100, get on the brakes, down to second, and as you start to see that little drain on the left there, that's when you want to get turned in, aiming to get your left hand side tyres again, not quite on the curb, but just next to it, and as soon as you pass that point, you want to be on the power. Feather the throttle if you need to, but if you take it light, you should be able to pin it. You can use the exit curb. It will give you a little bump when you come off it, but you don't really lose time. And that completes a lap, so we will go and watch that in full speed. So brake around 80 metres, get turned in, power as soon as you hit the curb, and that completes a lap. I think with race fuel that was a 201.8, which, yeah, it's an average time. Your first few laps you put in, if you've never driven this track before, might be like near enough 210. Don't worry, it will come down. This track is all about practice. It's about getting the feel of it. It's hard to tell you how to drive here, especially the mountain section, because it's all about the feeling of the grip in the car. And as you get more comfortable with it, the time will come. And just practice is the best thing I can say. So what I'll do is I will go back to the start and let you watch a lap without me rabbiting on. and then afterwards I'll go to the outside car view as usual for you. So we will go around now. And now I'll show you the outside of the car, and we'll start the lap again, just so you can see the track positioning and where not to hit the walls like I do. And that is a lap of Bathurst. Again, just keep practicing, practice. The key to this track is keeping your minimum speed up, especially through the mountain section. Try not to use your brakes as much because I know it's tempting, but it's about keeping your minimum speed up. Practice and you'll be good. As usual, you know I am on Discord if you want any tips or any questions. Coaching this week will, again, Wednesday around 7:45 UK time. Just keep practicing and you'll be good. And I'll see you later on.